What's up, family? Come with me as we go to the Dream U event at Zion Church so that we can help high schoolers transition from high school into their college life. Let's get in our bag. First thing that I do is I make sure that all of my cameras, memory cards, everything that I need is in my bag. I want to make sure that I have everything that I need so that I can get all of the angles that I need. Today we're talking about three main points: identity, time management, and goal setting. Three keys that as these youth begin to transition to the next phase of their life, they are certainly going to need to be experienced at, and they are going to need to feel confident in these areas of their lives. So we're going to give them some direction on how to get that done. First step to mastering your identity is going to be identifying who you want to be and adopting different traits that you desire to have within yourself. So I think the best thing that we can do is we can figure out who we want to be, and then we can start extracting certain lessons from the people that are around us. It's one of the things that I did. I do a lesson that says, you know, if you had 12 people, if you had to learn life from 12 people, who would those 12 people be and what would you learn from them? And so in the speech, I go over a couple of different parts where I say, you know, I learned humor from Kevin Hart. I learned storytelling from Dave Chappelle. I learned resiliency from Eric Thomas. I learned patience from Barack Obama. I learned how to be a great partner from Michelle Obama. I learned care, and I learned interview skills from Oprah Winfrey. I learned, you know, so many things from all of these different people. And I took all of those things and I put them and I created the person that I am now. I essentially reshaped my identity. I didn't allow life to define me. I actually defined my own life. And so that's one of the things that I want to encourage the kids to do today. And everything that they do, you know, today is essentially the sum. Everything that they've done in the past is a sum total of who they are right now in the present. And so we're going to help them effectively change and figure out you know, what their identity is. And so there's an identity crisis that goes on because we see a lot of things on social media and we try to be those things and emulate those things. And we think that people just became successful overnight, in which they did not become successful overnight, man. It took years and years and years. Remember, people are rewarded in public for what they practice for years in private. So come on, we gotta get these tripods and we gotta get out the door, man, because it's almost that time. I think today I'm gonna have my daughter. She's gonna be my camera person. So she's gonna be streaming the whole entire day for me. So I'm actually about to start that. Start that right now. Yeah, we're gonna be streaming the whole entire day. Let's get to work. I'ma drop this shit for the hell of it. Cause I'm out here grinding, can't tell me shit. People
people with me when you took so long. How you go so strong, cause it's time in the all this shit. When a nigga try to let his past go, get reminded of all his shit. Niggas don't go as hard as I do. I be fighting for all that I get. I got a question, why you hating on me? Cause I'm proudly grinding this bitch. Everybody who was checking for a nigga and was looking for a nigga, I appreciate your prayers, I respect you, my nigga. Now that these lames kept hating on a nigga, I took a little fall, you was stepping on a nigga. If you keep it 100, I salute you, my nigga. If I see you coming for me, I shoot you, my nigga. Bitch, you're grinding like I got something to prove, my nigga. Bet you couldn't walk up a mile in my shoes, my nigga. Nah, all my niggas ain't here this year. I cry for all my niggas. Love everybody in my squad, I die for all them niggas. Give a fuck about what these rumors, cause the truth will never be in. And they love to see when I'm losing, so they hate to see.
I got one card left, and it's a draw 4, so you know what that means, right? 4 more reasons why you won't be invited back here. Uno, don't come back out. Talk to him. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How y'all doing? Y'all good, yes? I love it, I love it, I love it. So, like they say, my name is Backpack Jeff. I'm here to tell you 3 quick stories. If that's cool, let me hear you say cool. I love it. So the theme of my speech today is going to be, I want you to be the architect of your life, not just the consumer of it. I want you to be the architect of your life, not just the consumer of it. Now, I learned this from a carpenter. And it's not Jesus, but he was a great carpenter too. But I learned this from a carpenter, and this carpenter was really good at his job, right? I mean, he was amazing at his job. Nobody could build houses and structures better than this guy. Anytime they needed a big project, they would always call on this very same carpenter because they always knew he would do an amazing job. I mean, when somebody is really good at something, you don't really have to check on them to see if they're doing a good job because you know they're doing a good job. And so they would always call on him in order to build these huge structures. And he was so dedicated and so committed to his job that he forgot to spend time with his family. And so as he got older, his family started to miss him. And he started to realize that maybe I need to spend a little bit more time with my family. So he went to his boss and he said, listen, man, I've given you the best years of my life. I miss my kids. My kids are growing up and they're starting to have kids of their own. And I don't want to miss those opportunities to be there in their lives the same way that I miss them opportunities to be there in my own children's lives. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to retire. I have enough saved up. I have enough property saved up. This is going to be my last job. And he gave him the keys to this last house. And the boss, just like any other boss, they always ask you to do one more thing as soon as you're about to leave, don't they? Don't y'all hate that when you get off at 5 and it's 4:55 and they're like, hey, hold on, wait, I got to send you one more thing. I need one more favor. The boss said, listen, I need one more favor. I just need one more favor. Can you just do one more house for me? I got one more project that I need you to complete. I need you to complete one more house. He was like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to go spend time with my family. He said, listen, man, nobody can do this project. Remember, we only call on the best to do our best projects. This is the best project that I'm ever going to ask you to do. And this is the last one that I will ever ask you to do. So reluctantly, he says, you know what? I'll do it. I'll do it. He ends up doing it, but his heart is not into it. He doesn't use the best concrete to lay the foundation. He doesn't use the best wood in order to build the truss. He doesn't use the best shingles. He doesn't use the best drywall. He doesn't use the best electricians, the best HVAC technicians. He doesn't use the best people. He does enough just to get by. He knows it'll pass inspection. He does enough just to get by. And just in a few months later, he goes back to his boss and he hands the boss the keys and he says, look, I'm done. The boss says, I knew you would be done today because you're always done on time. When somebody does something good, you don't necessarily have to check on that person doing something good because you already know every time they're going to be done on time. The boss says, I got a surprise for you. I actually had the inspection set up today. I want you to meet me at the house. He said, no, man, I'm not going to meet you at the house. He said, I'm going home to spend time with my family. He said, no, you don't understand. I need you to meet me at the house. He says, okay, I'll meet you at the house. He goes with him to the house, and to his surprise, there's a moving truck outside. And they're moving familiar furniture into this house. The boss walks him into the house, and to his surprise, his whole entire family is there to celebrate his retirement. And the boss looks at him and he says, congratulations. This is yours. This was my parting gift to you. Thank you for everything that you've done for us. and you've done for my company. And everybody is celebrating but the carpenter. Why? Because he knew he did not do his best in this work. And then it dawned on me, y'all, maybe I was that carpenter. Maybe because I graduated high school with a 2.2 grade point average. Ugh, sorry. I throw up a little bit when I say it. It's bad. Y'all, maybe I was complaining about my house when I'm the one who built it. Maybe I had people that was in my neighborhood and friends in my life who was bringing down my property value, and I'm the one who chose to build here. A lot of us complain about the lives that we live when we the ones who built it. How are we going to complain about the things that we do in our lives and the things that we don't get in our lives when we're the ones? I graduated high school, and my dream in life was to be an electrical engineer. The number one hip hop song on the radio was Soulja Boy Crank That, and I was going to Waynesburg University, and I was practicing I was ready to yule at every party that I could. I was ready, y'all. I'm telling you, I was ready. It was 2007, and by 2009, I was done. By 2009, I was like, y'all can clap for that. Yeah. Y'all can clap for that. Absolutely. But so hold on, I didn't tell you why to clap though, because I didn't graduate. That's not what happened. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I messed up. I didn't graduate. School was too expensive for me at that point. I was like, no, I don't know. I don't know what this. See, I thought that in order to go to school, all you had to do was just fill out the financial aid and the FAFSA and you're good. I thought that was it. Because I didn't have events like Dream U in order to teach you that there's more to college than filling out your financial aid. I didn't have that, y'all. I didn't have events like this to where I can go and I can actually learn, okay, this is what you would be paying and you're still owed an additional balance. That wasn't what I had, y'all. I didn't have events like this. And so in 2009, I had to make a decision in my life. I called my mom on the phone. They told me, they said, Jeff, you cannot come back to the school until you pay that $5,000. You cannot come back to the school until you pay that $5,000. You've been playing long enough, Jeff. So I called my mom on the phone. I was crying to my mom. I said, Mom, I can't do it no more. I'm ready to quit. I'm ready to come home. I can't do this no more. I got to come back home and I got to figure it out there. And my mom, being the strong woman that she is, she said, if you come home, I'm not going to answer the door. And she hung up the phone. My mom knew exactly what to do and what to say to push me to figure it out. You know what life is? Life is nothing but a series of problems that you have to figure out. And if you continue to have something that you can run back to, guess what you'll never do? You'll never figure it out. So I had to make a choice. And at that moment, it really stuck on me. I said, man, I felt like this general that I heard about. This general was captured behind enemy lines in a war, y'all. He was captured behind enemy lines in a war. The captain came to him and said, listen, tomorrow morning you got two choices. You can walk out this door over here, or you can face the firing squad. He said, well, what's out the door over there? He said, nobody knows. All we can tell you is it's the unknown. He walked him back to his cell, dark cell, dingy cell, nothing but a hole in the middle so he can use the bathroom, but stunk all over it because of previous prisoners that was in there before. He said, tomorrow morning, I'm going to come back and I'm going to get you and I'm going to feed you and I'm going to ask you what your choice is. The next morning came, he gave him some old rough, tough oatmeal and threw it at him. And he said, what's your choice? He said, well, I'm going to take the firing squad. He walked them to the firing squad, and they're called the firing squad for a reason, because the firing squad don't miss, y'all. The firing squad don't miss. As the shots rang out, the captain's secretary came to him. He said, Captain, I've been hearing you tell this story to everybody for the longest, and I never bothered to ask you, what's out that door over there? And he said freedom, but very few people were selected because it was the unknown. My question is, how many of you all are choosing a known hell versus an unknown heaven? Come on, man. How many of us would rather be wrong with a lot of people than right by ourselves? Seriously, they've done studies on it where everybody in the room is in it except for one person, and they get all of the answers right, and then gradually they start to shift their perspective and start to say, this is the answer, even though they know it's the wrong answer. And the one person, even though they know that answer is wrong, they start to say, that's the answer. Y'all, most people would rather be wrong with a lot of people than right by themselves. You know why? Because they got identity problems. The first thing I want you all to understand as you transition from high school into college is the first thing that's going to be tested is your identity, your character, your morals, your values, and your principles. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. If you don't stand for something, you will literally fall for anything. And that was me. I fell for the okie doke until I met this girl in college. Yeah, man. Yeah, I did. I met her, man. You should have seen her too. Man, she was fine, y'all. Oh my goodness. Like, for real, like she was so, like, she didn't even walk across campus. She just like glide across campus like this. That's all she was just glide across campus. And you know, at this time, right, I didn't have any Riz. So, y'all good? Okay. I didn't have any, right? But I was a poet, so I felt confident in my abilities to win her over. But I thought to myself, man, if I say a poetry line to her, she'd probably just say to me, well, how many girls have you used that line on? And I would just say, it don't matter. The only one I wanted to work on is you. Okay? But that's not what I said. That's not what I said. I don't got any Riz. This is like future me. I'm like, all right, we like to go to the gym and we like to work out. Okay, maybe if I see her at the gym, there's a thing at the gym called gym etiquette. And if you see me struggling at the gym, you can't tell me no. Even though we don't know each other, you're not going to let me die up underneath this barbell. You're going to come over and you're going to help me, ain't you? Right? So I would ask her, I would say, excuse me, how you doing real quick? I don't want to interrupt your workout, but I got one more set left on the bench. You mind spotting me? I just need like a guide real quick. And because she understands gym etiquette, she would say, yeah, of course. And I would pick up my phone and I would go, here, can you put your number in there? It feels a little light. Is this Riz or not? Is this Riz? It's not. Okay. All right. What about this one? Okay. Tell me if this one will work. So one day we would go out, right? And you know, girls, they like to spray on their nice perfume and stuff like that. And she would walk by me and I would go, excuse me, how you doing? That's a beautiful fragrance. I would love to buy that for my wife. What is that? And she would tell me what it is. And then I would halfway walk off and I would say, you know what? You didn't give me your address so I can send it to you. Hello. Right. Listen, I didn't say none of that. I didn't say none of that, y'all. The only thing I come up with was hi at that point, right? But she helped shape my identity because of this thing that she said to me. Not only did I realize that she was beautiful, I also realized that she was very smart. She was super intelligent. She was a 4.0 student. She was in this program called Bonner Scholars, y'all. And in Bonner Scholars, you got to keep your GPA above a 3.5. Otherwise, you would lose that scholarship and your parents would then have to pay for your education. She has this bright idea. She says, hey, why don't we share our grades with each other after every semester? That way we can hold each other accountable. Rule number 1 in college, get yourself an accountability partner. You need somebody to help you hold yourself accountable. You know why? Because you are not responsible enough. I'm not throwing shade. Neither am I. Neither are any of the other adults in here. We're not responsible enough we need accountability partners, okay? After the first semester is over, I get my grades. My grade point average has always been consistent throughout my whole entire life, a 2.2 grade point average. So it was no surprise that after my first semester of my undergraduate degree, I had a 2.2 grade point average. It didn't matter to me. Football season was over. Basketball season was starting. I was practicing my step back and my follow through. I was good. But I was a little nervous because I was trying to figure out what would I say to her? What if she doesn't want to have a conversation with me because she doesn't think I'm smart enough no more? No, what would I say to her? And then I thought about it. I'll just tell her I'll do better because women always believe that. No, I'm not. No, I wouldn't say that. I'm just trying to make sure y'all are awake. That's all. I said, listen, what I'm going to say is this is a new adjustment for me. I have no idea what I'm doing. Nobody is here to hold me accountable. This is a new adjustment. Nobody's expected to do well. And when I got to the library where we were scheduled to meet at, I got in a room and she was ugly crying. I mean, she was Viola Davis on Fences with snot bubbles crying. She I started to feel a lot more confident in myself. I said, oh my goodness, she lost her scholarship. I got my 2.2 and I'm not feeling too bad. She said, Jeff, what did you get? I gave her my grades. She looked at him. She said, Jeff, what is this? I said, what do you mean? I'm eligible. I said, what did you get? You crying. Let me see yours. What did you get? What? I had to like hold it up to the light. I was like, I know she changed it somewhere. I don't know. Y'all, she had a 3.9. I've never seen this many A's on a report card ever in my life. Why are you crying? Room full of students. Any of y'all ever cried because you had a 3.9? Yes. There's always one, right? There's always one, a couple, right? I didn't know. I didn't understand. I'm like, why are you crying? She said, because I deserve a 4.0. I was like, how you know? She said, because I did the work. I said, what that mean? She said, I kept all my work. I'm going to take it back to my teacher. I'm going to show her all of the work that I did for the semester. I said, time out. You kept all your work for the whole semester? I thought after the test was done, you just throw that stuff away. She said, no, I'm going back to my teacher and I'm getting my 4.0. 3 days later, y'all, she came back with a 4.0 grade point average. Give it up to her. You know what that lesson taught me? That lesson taught me that I needed to raise my standards. The standard that she had for herself and her life and her identity was that nothing less than her absolute best will do. Y'all, nothing less than your absolute best will do. The next version of your life is going to require the best version of you. And the only way to do that is to raise your standard so that you can change the identity of who you want to become. And here, you're going to go out and they're going to ask you, what do you want to major in? But I want you to understand that what you major in is not as important as who you become. Because you can make all of the money in the world, but if you're not a person of value and you're not living your life giving back, you're not going to find the value that you desire in your life. Y'all, it's the reason why I do what I do now. Because I learned that the more people you can help get what they want, the more you can have what you want, y'all. My motto in life is stay in your bag so you never got to chase a bag. And listen, in your bag doesn't mean money. It means here. It means here, right? In your mind and in your heart, y'all, you got to stay in your bag. You ever see somebody doing something so good, you just go, ooh, they in their bag. Look at them. Listen, if you always stay in your bag and you're always confident in who you are, you won't have to chase money. Money will eventually start to chase you, y'all. Money will start to chase you. The first lesson I wanted to teach you all is about your identity. Raise your standards. The second lesson that I learned is about time management. When you all get to college, you are going to have to learn how to manage your time. This will be the greatest skill that you will ever learn in your whole entire life. How many of you all have ever had so many things to do that you just decided not to do any of them? Yep. Yeah. You ever be like, dang, I don't know which one of these things I'm gonna do right now. And you spend 37 hours trying to figure out which one you're gonna do. And then all of a sudden you go, well, let me just go make some coffee real quick. If I make some coffee, I think I'll be good. You make the coffee and you come back and you look at all the things. Well, you know what? Let me go talk to Jan real quick down the hall. Because Jan will help me figure out what I got to do. If you work from home, you say, let me go put a load in the wash real quick. I got to wash these clothes, right? You say, look at them dishes over there piling up in the sink. I should get it done now before I go and do anything. And before you know it, it's 4:30 and the day is over and you ain't do none of it. There's a word for that. It's called decision fatigue. You suffer from decision fatigue. Don't worry, I do too. Not anymore though, until I learned how to master my time. The moment I learned how to master my time, I started spending more time doing the things that would ultimately lead to the type of person that I desired to become. I mastered my time by doing a couple of things. Number one, I mastered my time by following a morning routine. You got to find a morning routine that will work for you, that will balance everything that you have to do and allocate your responsibilities in the most advantageous manner possible, right? I wake up every morning at 4:40 a.m. I go to the gym and I'm at the gym by 5 o'clock. Between 5 and 6, I work out. When I come home, the start of the morning is good. It's the when I come home part that I'm always confused about. Because when I walk in the door, I got to make my smoothie. I got to boil 6 boiled eggs. I got to walk my dog. I got to take him out back. I got to get my son up, get him dressed. I got to get in the shower, get myself dressed. I got to pack my son's bag and pack my bag. And what order do you do that in? Right? Like if you don't know, well, you know what? I'm here. Decision fatigue, and then I'm 2 hours late for work. So here's what I did, y'all. Here's what I did in order to master my time. Here's what I did. I got an app. It's called Structured. I don't get paid any money for advertising this app. It's one of my favorite apps, but it's called Structured. So now when I go in the house, I know exactly what I do. A lot of people think what they lack is motivation. Well, what they really lack is clarity. A student of mine on Thursday, he said, Mr. Backpack, how do you get up every single day motivated what you want to do? Because when I wake up, I'm not motivated. I said, it's not because you're not motivated. It's because you're confused about what you're supposed to be doing. You lack clarity, not motivation, y'all. Not motivation. When I was in college, this was my schedule. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I was a 2-sport athlete. I worked 3 jobs, and I was a father in college. I had to be a master of my schedule. On Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I woke up at 4 a.m. I got dressed, and I walked 3 miles to work from my apartment to Bob Evans. I got there by 5:25, 5:15 in the morning. I worked an 8-hour shift and I got off at 1 p.m. At 1 p.m., I had to walk 3 miles back, and that was rain, sleet, snow, sunshine, blistering heat, didn't matter what it was. I had on Chuck Taylors. If you know anything about Chuck Taylors, they are the most uncomfortable shoes to walk 3 miles in every single day for years and years at a time. I would get back to my house at 1:45. I would take a shower at 1:45 to 1:50. Not even enough time to get all of the smell of bacon grease, eggs, pancake batter, and everything off me, but it was just enough to make sure I didn't stink when I walked into the class, because I had class from 2 to 2:50. From 3 to 6 o'clock, I had football practice. At 6 o'clock, this is something that I want to encourage you all to understand. Relationships will change your life. Yes. People will tell you it's not just it's not what you know, it's who you know. I don't like when they say it like that. I say it's not just what you know, it's also who you know. Because you can know people but don't know how to do anything, and they still not going to put you in a position to win. But if you know something and you know people, you're in a good position. You understand? I went there and I made a relationship with 2 very important people on campus. Number 1 was the head of security, for reasons I'm not going to talk about here today. Well, I like to have fun on campus, and if anything went down, I knew Mr. Dave, my man, he said, Jeff, you get out of here. I said, all right, man, I'm out of here. And I made a relationship with Miss Janice. Now, Miss Janice was my favorite person on campus. I would always schmooze over Miss Janice every time I got to see Miss Janice. I said, Miss Janice, how you doing? You doing good, Miss Janice? All right. I said, Miss Janice, if you was a little younger, if I was a little older, that husband of yours would be in trouble, wouldn't he? All right. I said, Miss Janice, you know what, Miss Janice, I brought you some flowers. Here you go. Here you go, Miss Janice. I brought you some flowers. You just think, how the kids doing? The kids doing good? Yeah, that's beautiful, Miss Janice. Okay. Miss Janice was a lady at the cafeteria who swiped your meal plan card. I had free meals on college campus for 2 years. Them meals cost $20,000 every single year. I saved $40,000 being nice to a lady. That's all. Listen, I saved $40,000 a year being nice to a lady. You got to know who to build the right relationships with. When you get on campus, when you go out there, you need to ask them, who is Miss Janice and how do I find her? That's the first person you need to build a relationship with. Because she said, Jeff, don't even worry about swiping the card. Just come here and act like you swiping something and just walk on through. I said, Miss Janice, girl, you better stop. And I walked through every single year for 2 years, y'all. For 2 years, I became a master of my schedule, y'all. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I had class from 8 a.m. until 3:45 p.m. p.m. And then I had practice. And then I would go to my second job, which I was, because I was really good at closing down restaurants. I would work at this bar and restaurant, and I would close down their grill from 6:30 to 9:30. And then from 10 p.m. to 12 midnight, I would work my final job at the fitness center. It was a work study job because my coach got me that job. And that would be my time to study. Y'all, what I'm telling you is that there are going to be some unpredictable things that are going to happen to you in college. But if you are a master of your time and a master of your schedule, nothing will be impossible for you to create, right? Nothing will be impossible for you to create. I want you all to understand there's a powerful aphorism that I've heard in my life. Right now, we are the sum total of the time we spent engaging in the habits that we have. Y'all, I wanted to be a professional football player. It never worked out. You know why? Because you can't be a professional working amateur hours. And I spent my whole life working amateur hours, trying to thinking that I was going to get everything that I wanted in this world and not working hard for it. It doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. And that's why now, and being a speaker, I hate when people tell me good luck. They be like, good luck on your speech, Jeff. When I used to play football, they be like, good luck at your game, Jeff. When I used to play basketball, they say, good luck in your game tomorrow. I say, I don't like luck. Because luck isn't some mystical energy that travels around the world randomly bestowing people with satisfaction and joy. You create your own luck. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity. I didn't see luck write one line for this speech today. I didn't see luck rehearse one line. I didn't see luck stay up last night in order to practice this speech. I didn't see luck in the gym doing squats so that I can increase my 40 time and my vertical. I didn't see luck at the free throw line when I was trying to increase my free throw percentage. So how you going to tell me that all of a sudden luck going to show up in the game, but luck was never there during practice? Luck was never there during practice, but all of a sudden luck gonna show up during the game? No, master your time and spend more time engaging in the things that lead you towards being the person that you desire to be. The last thing that I want to encourage you guys is this: you got to set goals for yourself. And I know people will talk about this all the time. Oh, you got to set goals, you got to set goals, you got to set goals. But let me ask you, how will you ever hit a target that you can't see? You can't hit a target that you can't see, right? At all. I set, and here's the thing. Whatever you want to accomplish, I don't want you to allow anybody to convince you that it's impossible. The only people that believe that something is impossible are the people who have never accomplished the impossible. Those are the only people, y'all. When we was younger, for my older people in here, we used to play this game. Y'all remember we used to play this game called That's My Car? Y'all remember? Man, we used to sit on the porch and we used to see cars drive by and we used to go, that's my car right there. And whoever called the car first, it was their car. But let me tell you, we never said that's my car to a Nissan, to a Honda, to a Jeep. We never said that. No, we said that's my car when we saw that Mercedes drive by, when we saw that Range Rover drive by, that BMW, that Lexus, that Porsche. We said that's my car. I was quick with it, y'all. I was so good, man. I got 2 cars in a row. My friend was like, "You said the last one was yours. How you gonna have 2 cars?" I said, "You don't know my life, man. I'm gonna be rich. I'm gonna be wealthy, man." I was good, y'all. Until somebody comes along and says, "Hey, don't dream that big. You crazy. You dreaming too big. You dreaming too big." What they do is they come and they put a lid on your cap. They put a cap on your abilities. And they tell you, they say, "Jeff, you dreaming too big." Y'all, my mentor, Les Brown, taught me something. He said, most people fail in life not because they aim too high and miss. Most people fail in life because they aim too low and hit. So many people only dream, I just want to go to college. And then do what? You gotta go to college with a purpose, y'all. That dream that you got, you gotta breathe life into that dream. Y'all know what CPR is, cardiopulmonary resuscitation. You gotta breathe life into that dream. And then what happens, if you know anything about doing dual CPR, is that once you start breathing and you get tired, what you do? You bring in another person and they start breathing, they start getting tired. Y'all, that's why relationships are so important, because the moment you can't breathe no more into this, somebody else will come and take over and they'll start breathing into into your life, y'all. Start with your core, your identity. Start persevering and spending more time in what it is that you desire to do in this life, and your life will be restored. That's for me what CPR is. Core, perseverance, restoration. Every single last one of you all have an opportunity to do something that nobody in your family has ever done. Even if they've already graduated college, you can graduate at a higher level. Even if they've already accomplished what you're trying to accomplish, you got to start taking it up a whole nother step. Set goals for yourself so big that they scare you. Because if your goals do not scare you, they're not big enough. Every single last one of you all has an opportunity. I wanted to play this game, but we're not going to have enough time. But y'all ever seen this game right here? Yeah, this game is called Number Slide. All you got here, I'm going to give this to you. All I want you to do is I want you to put this in order from 1 through 8. Can you do that for me? Put that in order from 1 through 8. Here, I'm going to give, can I give you this one? Who you want this? Okay, come on. I'm gonna put this in order from 1 through 8, right? This level right here is relatively easy. This level is relatively easy. This is like elementary school. The next level is significantly more difficult because this one is 1 through 15. This one is 1 through 15. So it doesn't matter what you do in life. There's always going to be additional levels of difficulty. All right. So this one is 1 through 15. Right. So look, this one is like middle school. I'm trying to give this to my people that's already done middle school. Right. Here's what I'm going to do, yo. That's middle school. Here's my people who have already passed high school. I see you. I'm coming to you right now. This is for my people who already had passed high school. See, this one is 1 through 24, right? This one is 1 through 24. Elementary school, relatively easy, 1 through 8. Middle school, relatively easy, 1 through 15. Passing high school, 1 through, you got it already? Come on now. What's your name? London. Make some noise for London, y'all. Go ahead, girl. You bad. I like it. You bad. But don't worry, right? Because when you get to college, what happens is life only becomes significantly more challenging. And don't worry, after you finish college, when you become an adult and you become a parent, life is going to become significantly more challenging. What I'm telling you is that every single level in life is going to require you to continue to grow. And here's what happens. I'm going to give you 2 quick demonstrations. I want you to come here real quick, my man. Yep, come here. Here's what happens, y'all. Here's what happens. Come over here. What's your name? Damon? Yeah. Make some noise for Damon, y'all. I love it. Come over here for me real quick. So Damon is going to, am I saying it right? Yeah. Okay. Damon is going to represent every single last one of you all. I'm going to represent life. Okay. I'm going to represent life. He's going to represent every single last one of you all. At your young age, what happens is you start walking with life a little bit, right? You start walking with life. But what most people do is the moment they graduate high school, they stop growing. You know that 60% of people who graduate high school never read a book ever again? But just because you stop, does life stop? Nah. Just because you got fired from your job, does life stop? Nah. Just because somebody passed away in your family, does life stop? No. Right? Just because you're going through some hardships and you lost your job and you can't feed your family, does life stop? No. Just because the government shut down, does life stop? No, not at all. And here's the distance between me and you, right? You got a choice that you got to make. You got to ask yourself, if we keep walking at the same pace, you'll never catch up to life. But you got a choice that you got to make to where you're going to have to run and catch up with life, aren't you? You're going to have to run and catch up with life, right? I wanted to do it here, but I'm not going to do it in here, right? Because I did this demonstration previously. But at some point, it's going to require more effort from him than it is for me to catch up. Y'all, do not allow the distance between you and life to get so far that you stop chasing your goals, all right? Thank you so much, Damon. I appreciate it. Give Damon a hand, y'all. My last thing is when you set your goals, right? This is like what you look like, right? And I just told y'all, it doesn't matter what you do. You're going to have to set goals, but not only set goals, you're going to have challenges in those goals, right? So if I ask you, do you want it? Do you want it? Yes. Yeah. Okay. If I like went through some struggle, do you still want it? Yes. You still want? You sure? Yes. You still want, like if I like rip, like you sure because this person has been through some struggles. You sure you can still spin this and still got back. Like if I did it one more time, you sure you still want? So like if I like balled it up like this real quick, right? You still want it? You sure? If I like put it on the ground and I just did like this, do you still want it? You sure? When you set a goal, you can't just want it. You got to go and get it. So who wants success? In life, you got to go after the things you want. Thank y'all so much. My name is Backpack Jeff. I appreciate y'all. Where my people at? Did anybody else finish the puzzle game? Who else finished it? You did it? Give her a round of applause, y'all.